Good morning once again. This is Brother Darren. Hebrews 9 verse 27 and John 3 verse 16 YouTube ministry. This is a short video and post basically entitled God cannot be happy with people taking abortion or aborted fetus tainted vaccines in connection with the recent announcement on December the 21st by the Pope to state that vaccines that are derived from the HEK293 aborted fetus cell lines are acceptable to take. Now, this is an article on USA Today News. It was a fact-checking article, and it says, fact check, COVID-19 vaccine morally acceptable, Vatican says, but some claims missing in context. Now, just want to get down to something in specific in reference to this, and it's this section here. It says, did the Pope approve of COVID-19 vaccines associated with aborted fetal cells? Now it says on December the 21st, the Vatican News reported that Pope Francis approved a statement from the Vatican's Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith on the morality of the Pfizer and Moderna COVID-19 vaccines. In the absence of other means to stop or even prevent the epidemic, the common good may recommend vaccination, especially to protect the weakest and most exposed, the statement says. So basically what we have here is the Pope's made this announcement, even though technically the Catholic Church, which is an apostate church, is so strong on abortion, to take these vaccines that are derived or tested with these HEK293 aborted fetus cells, the Vatican is for it, which is an absolute outrage and a violation of God's laws and what God would actually think in regards to such cell lines, I believe. But it's something else that I want to show you. Now, if you remember the date of the announcement from the Vatican, that they made the announcement that it was okay to use such vaccines associated with the aborted fetuses, it was the 21st of December 2020, which is actually the date for the winter solstice. Now, that can't be without coincidence, because what the Vatican has done over many centuries has incorporated many pagan sort of dates into their calendar. And it's just not surprising for me to see them make such an announcement on a date which is the most important date for pagans and druids, certainly in the United Kingdom, but also that coincides with the Yuletide holiday for the German neo-pagans. But there's something I want to take you to down here. If we click on this where it says, for pagans, the winter solstice is as it welcomes the new sun. This is another article on the BBC. It says, when is the winter solstice? But I'm going to scroll down here. And it says, who celebrates the winter solstice? For pagans, it's the most important event of the year, even more significant than the summer solstice, because it welcomes in the new sun. For this reason, pagan and druid communities actually celebrate the first sunrise after the winter solstice. The Druid priests would cut mistletoe that grew on oak trees and give it as a blessing. Oaks were seen as sacred trees, and the fruit of the mistletoe was a symbol of life in the dark winter months. So I could go on and on, but the very fact that the Pope, has made this announcement on that particular date, spiritually, that doesn't get away from me. But I'm going to just move on to closing this now. So what I'm simply saying is this: God cannot be happy with people taking aborted fetus tainted vaccines. In the Old Testament, babies were sacrificed to the old pagan deity gods of Moloch and Bel or Baal, and God's anger and displeasure was known. Now, I've already said in previous videos of mine that the Arch of Palmyra, or what was the Arch of Bel, that was reconstructed and showcased around the world, I believe, for the World Government Summit in 2017. And a lot of people associated with either the World Government Summit or the World Economic Forum are very powerful elitists, globalists, or world leaders. And, roughly 3 to 4 years from that happening, and from Klaus Schwab's book, The Fourth Industrial Revolution, coming out in 2016 but being published in 2017, we have all this chaos unfolding towards a great reset. And in the light and the wake of COVID-19, with people like the Pope and Klaus Schwab and many other globalists and leaders pushing for these vaccines without even looking at the ethical concerns that should be there for us spiritually. The Pope heading it up, and sometimes other Christian leaders even acquiescing or not paying any mind to it. Now it says this: human embryonic kidney 293 cells, also often referred to as HEK 293 or 293 cells, or less precisely as HEK cells, are a specific cell line originally derived from human embryonic kidney cells grown in tissue culture taken from an aborted female fetus. There's the source there. It's on Wikipedia. Please look it up for yourself. Now, HEK 293 cells were used in the design, the development, protein and testing of the Moderna vaccine, which Kamala Harris has just taken. Joe Biden, the president-elect, took the Pfizer vaccine, which was tested on HEK 293 as well, although the end product was not made from those derived cell lines. Prince Charles, who is also an advocate for Klaus Schwab's Great Reset, has said he will probably take the AstraZeneca vaccine, which was developed and derived from HEK 293 cell lines as well. Now, in reference to the Pope and the Roman Catholic Church's announcement and approval on December 21st, which is the pagan winter solstice, for vaccines for COVID-19 developed or tested in connection with HEK 293 cell lines, I will read the following from the Bible. The woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet, and adorned with gold and precious stones and pearls, having in her hand a golden cup full of abominations and the filthiness of her fornication. And the woman who you saw is that great city which reigns over the kings of the earth. That's Revelation chapter 17, verses 4 and verses 18. Now, Revelation chapter 1, verse 3 also says this about the book of Revelation. Blessed is he who reads and those who hear the words of this prophecy and keep those things which are written in it, for the time is near. Now, that great city from Revelation chapter 17, verse 18, full of abominations, is none other than Rome. And what do we find? We have the Roman Catholic Church condoning the these vaccines, or some vaccines at least, which are derived, developed, or tested on aborted fetus cell lines, HEK293. My only admonition is this: it's getting darker in these end days and these end times. People need to wake up. There does need to be understanding of what is taking place in current events, as well as obviously growing in the Lord and staying in the Word. But these things are abominable. The tie-ins and even the announcement on the pagan date, it can't go without notice. We can't just push these things under the carpet. The very fact that that particular date is associated, and even Christmas, they're not, it's not the date of the birth of Jesus Christ. Anyway, I pray that you share this video. I will actually upload this to my YouTube, because my spirit was moved and I was grieved this morning by what I'm seeing and by what I'm hearing. You know, as Christians, brothers and sisters, or those who are seeking to understand what is unfolding, we really need to know what's going on. COVID-19, Pope Francis urges nations to share coronavirus vaccine. Pope urges the world to share these vaccines. Now, like I said, this video is in specific for HEK293 cell lines, but people need to understand what is going on, because even from when the Arch of Bell or the Arch of Palmyra reconstructions were set up in various cities around the world, we've just moved on and on in chaos. On and on in chaos. So, know what it is. The Roman Catholic Church is an abomination. It's an apostate church. We love Catholics. We would like them to come out of Catholicism. But it has integrated many pagan practices and persecuted the true church, and we have an ecumenical type of movement towards this at the moment, and it's not right. Anyway, God bless. This is Brother Darren signing off. Hebrews 9 verse 27 and John 3 verse 16 YouTube ministry.